Yo, what's up, guys? We're back with another video today. Actually, no, not today. It's like late at night for me. I wasn't gonna make a video today, but Bald Man Dana White just announced some big fights. Like, really just two big fights. Islam Makhachev versus Arman Tsarukyan. Merab Dvalishvili versus Umar Nurmagomedov. So, first of all, before we get into all that, thank God Merab's taking on Umar. He's not a duck, as I thought he was going to be. He's actually going to fight the number one contender. But we'll get into that shortly. First, I want to get through Arman and Islam. And this is going to be in January, like January 18th, in Los Angeles at UFC 311. 311's looking really good, guys. Islam Makhachev, Arman Tsarukyan, Merab Dvalishvili, Umar Nurmagomedov, Yuri Prohaska, and Jamal Hill. Those are some big fights right there, guys. Look at, like, they're crazy. But let's get into let's get more in depth with like both of these fights. Okay, so Islam Makhachev versus Arman Tsarukyan is going to be the main event for this. I expected this to be announced in January. I think pretty much everybody expected this. Like, if you've been keeping in touch with like UFC news, this has basically been confirmed for like 3 months now, basically. Like, I remember Khabib's team, they accidentally leaked it, like, for Los Angeles between these two guys. So we've pretty much all known this by now. And I've had this opinion for a while. I think Islam wins this fight. Like, I wouldn't say easily. I think he wins this fight mid difficulty, to be honest. It's not that like Arman's bad. It's just like Islam's just a better version of Arman, in my opinion. There are some things Arman's better, right? Like, he's got better kicks, in my opinion. He has, I would say, slightly better wrestling. But Islam has better submissions, way better striking. And I think both of these guys have fairly decent chins, so I don't see neither one of them knocking out each other. I'd say this fight goes to a decision. I think this could be a high-level grappling bout between these two. I could see this being a boring fight, but I could also see this being a high-level fight at the same time. Like, just being an all-around, like, mixed martials fight. They're doing everything. The kicks, the striking, the wrestling, the submissions. They're doing everything they can to win this fight. Because they're both very versatile when it comes to their skills. But I think Islam's just, like, the best fighter right now. He literally has everything. The kicks, the striking, the wrestling, the grappling. He has, like, all the achievements right now. Do I think he's the best at all those? No, but I think he's not an S for everything, but he's like a solid A or B in most of them. Whereas Arman's like, I'd say an S for some of them, but like a C for some of the others. Like, his striking's not as good, like nowhere near as good as Islam's. But I don't think neither one of these two are gonna finish each other. I think this is, like I just said, gonna be a high level, like, just competitive fight between these two. But I see Islam just winning most of the rounds, just because he's just better, in my opinion. I am looking forward to this fight, and I'm gonna go with Islam by decision. Now, this fight right here, guys, thank God Merab is fighting Umar, because and a lot of people were thinking that Merab was gonna be a duck. He was going to avoid the number one contender, like a certain other champion, John Jones. But that's not the case. Merab's actually going to fight the hardest opponent, in the number one division, or like you get what I'm saying. So I'm very glad for Merab taking this fight. I have way more respect for him taking on this fight, because like I just said, I thought he was going to be the next John Jones of this division. He was calling out Sean O'Malley, Peter Yan, even though he schooled Peter Yan, and he literally just beat Sean O'Malley, so there's no point in either one of those fights. So it's kind of crazy that, he was calling out those guys, and it still is, just thinking about it. Like, why would you call out those guys when Umar's literally right here? I get the I get Merab's like reasonings to an extent. Like, I agree Umar hasn't done nearly as enough compared to like Peter Yan to warrant a title shot, but I would say that Umar deserves it more. Well, no, not deserves it. I would much rather see this fight than Peter Yan, because we've seen Peter Yan and Merab. It was not fun to watch. Merab just spammed like 50 takedowns. He humiliated Peter Yan. It was just terrible to watch as a fan, and just in general as a fight fan. I just hated that fight. It wasn't like the most boring fight, but it was just one of those fights where you're just so angry. It's like Jose Aldo and that guy that we all hate. I don't even remember his name. I hate that guy so much. It was just like that fight. So I'm glad that this one is the one that Dana White chose, and it should be the one. Regardless of Dana White privilege, because I feel like he would have given this to Umar regardless, like this fight right here. And as far as this fight goes, guys, I'm picking Umar to win this fight, but I do see Merab winning this. I can see a world. Am I crazy for saying that, guys? I feel like I'm crazy because I see literally everyone saying Merab's going to get schooled by him. Like Umar. I don't think that. I think Umar is going to win, but I do see a world where Merab can win this, because I think Merab's way better than Corey Sandhagen, and if Umar couldn't finish him, if he was having competitive fights with Corey Sandhagen, I feel like Merab has a much better chance at beating like Umar than Corey did. Like, I know we can't rely on MMA math, but at the same time, there are some certain occasions where we do like have to rely on it. Sometimes, like not every fight. It's like 1%. But I don't know. If I had to give, I would give Umar a 60% chance at winning this fight, and Merab a 40% chance. And I'm picking Umar by decision. Like I don't think both Islam and Arman are gonna finish like these guys. But we'll see. I could be wrong, and I could be wrong that these two finish one another. I don't know. I could see it, but I don't think that this is gonna be like a. I think this is gonna be a boring fight, but at the I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, we'll see. But guys, that's it for me. Just recap. I'm just making a quick video just to recap the announcements Dana White just made on these two big fights in UFC 311 in January. I mean, it is crazy, guys, just to think, because most cards that start off the year aren't usually great. Like, the last two ones for 2023 and 2024 weren't like the craziest, but these are like really big. Like, they're crazy. So I'm really looking forward to the pay-per-view in January, and I will see you on the next video. Peace!